If you ask most financial advisors when you should start receiving Social Security, the answer is almost always the same. Wait. Wait until 67. Or better yet, wait until 70. Because then you will receive a larger payment each month. Sounds very reasonable. But here's the strange part. Although they have heard that advice for many years, millions of Americans are still choosing to take Social Security at age 62. Not because they don't understand the math, not because they desperately need money, and in many cases, they are fully capable of waiting. So why do they still do the opposite? What do they know that spreadsheets don't show us? Why do so many retirees later say, "That was one of the best decisions I ever made"? In today's video, we will explore the 7 real reasons why millions of Americans are receiving Social Security at age 62, and the final reason might make you look at the whole issue in a completely different way. Don't take your eyes off. There's one thing that many financial spreadsheets can't measure. It's the feeling of boarding a plane at age 63 with healthy legs compared to boarding that same plane at age 83 with aching knees and doctor's appointments more frequent than travel plans. This is the first, and perhaps most emotionally charged, reason why millions of Americans are choosing to receive Social Security benefits as early as age 62. Not because they're poor, not because they're desperate, but because they want to use the money while they still have the strength to enjoy life. Many financial advisors often cite a single question: how can we maximize the total amount received? But retirees are asking a completely different question: how do you maximize the best years of your remaining life? It sounds similar, but in reality, they are two completely different worlds. One of the most popular comments under a Social Security video read, "I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy the smaller benefit at age 62 more than the larger benefit at age 90. Just a short sentence, but it hits the nail on the head for so many people. Because money isn't just about the amount. Money is also about the timing. $1,000 spent on taking your wife to Alaska at age 64 can bring more joy than $2,000 spent on medication at age 89. That's a truth many older adults are starting to speak openly about. And here's the surprising part. According to studies on when to receive Social Security benefits, most recipients have to live to about 79 or 81 years old to start winning financially if they wait until age 70. In other words, the system is asking you to forego 8 years of payments in a bet that you will live long enough to break even. It's not a simple mathematical decision. It's a gamble with the future. And increasingly, more Americans are no longer willing to bet their entire healthy years on a future that no one can guarantee. If you agree that quality of life is just as important as your bank account balance, please like this video. I'm curious to know, if you were 62 today, would you receive your benefits now or wait until 70? Share your thoughts in the comments. But the story goes beyond travel or enjoying life. Many people don't receive Social Security benefits early because they want to spend the money. They receive their benefits early because their bodies are sending signals that no spreadsheet can see. One retiree recounted that he started receiving benefits at age 62, traveled across America, and completed his wish list. By age 69, back and knee pain made it nearly impossible for him to take long trips anymore. He said the only thing he was grateful for was not waiting. That's a pretty powerful reminder. Money can increase over time, but health doesn't always. And that leads us to the second reason, an even more practical reason, directly related to what's happening in the investment accounts of millions of Americans today. While reading hundreds of comments from people nearing retirement, I discovered a rather interesting commonality. Most people rarely talk about national life expectancy statistics. Instead, they talk about their fathers, their mothers, their brothers, their best friends. And that's the second reason why so many Americans choose to receive Social Security at age 62. They don't believe they will live long enough to win the waiting game. It sounds a little uncomfortable to say this, but it's the conversation happening in millions of American families. One commenter wrote that their father died at age 71, their mother at age 74. Another recounted their brother dying at age 62 from cancer. Someone shared that their best friend decided to wait until age 70 to receive the maximum benefit, but died at age 69 without ever receiving a payment. When you've attended too many funerals of loved ones, you start to look at life expectancy in a different way. It's not pessimism, it's life experience. This is what many people think about. Experts often point out that the break-even point between receiving benefits at age 62 and age 70 is usually around 79 to 81 years old. That means you have to live past that age for waiting to start yielding financial benefits. But many people don't look at the number 81. They look at their family tree, and they ask themselves, has anyone in my family actually lived to be 81? That's a perfectly reasonable question. Some even joke, I've eaten too many McNuggets in my life to bet I'll live to 95. The entire comment section was filled with laughter. But behind that humorous remark lies a very human truth. Many people aren't afraid of death. They're afraid of spending their 60s waiting for a future they might never reach. And this is the remarkable reversal. Many people who receive Social Security early aren't doing so because they think they're about to die. On the contrary, they want to enjoy life with the understanding that time is limited. One retiree shared that his son died suddenly at age 29. After that event, he became even more convinced that no one is guaranteed a tomorrow. He said the most valuable thing isn't maximizing the money received, but maximizing the memories created while there's still a chance. That's why more and more people see Social Security not just as a financial calculation. They see it as a tool to buy them more free time. If you're watching this video and have ever lost a loved one too soon, please leave a comment. I think many people here will understand exactly that feeling. But interestingly, not everyone who receives benefits at age 62 does so out of anxiety about longevity. The next reason is entirely different, more practical, less emotional, and directly related to what's happening in the investment accounts and retirement funds of millions of Americans today. If the previous reason related to time and longevity, the third reason relates to something much more personal: exhaustion. Not the kind of exhaustion after a day's work, but the kind of exhaustion that accumulates after 30, 40, or even 45 years of waking up to the alarm clock at 5 a.m. Interestingly, when reading hundreds of comments from people who received Social Security benefits at age 62, very few said, "I retired because I was rich enough." Instead, they said, "I was too exhausted." One retired nurse shared that she worked for many years in the emergency and trauma intensive care unit. After decades of enduring pressure, night shifts, and constant stress, she decided to claim Social Security at age 62. Not because she ran out of money. It was because she felt her body needed a rest before being forced to stop. That's a huge difference. Many financial experts often ask, "Do you have enough money to retire?" But millions of Americans are asking themselves a different question. How much longer can my body handle it? It's a question not found on any spreadsheet. And this is where many people are surprised. A 62-year-old construction worker, a 62-year-old long-haul truck driver, and a 62-year-old office worker might have the same retirement account balance, but their bodies are not the same. After decades of climbing scaffolding, loading and unloading goods, driving across states, or working long shifts, many feel that retirement age is no longer a financial decision. It becomes a health decision. Sometimes the question isn't, do you have enough money to retire? It's, do you still have the energy to keep working? That's a reversal that many young people don't understand until they themselves reach 60. There's something quite funny about it. Many people used to think retirement would be boring. Then, a few months after retiring, they say the complete opposite. One commenter wrote, "I'm very proud to say that I like doing nothing." It sounds funny, but behind that statement is a profound liberation. No more early morning meetings, no more weekend work calls, no more Sunday evenings with minds already preoccupied with Monday worries. It's not retirement from work, it's retirement from stress. If you're watching this video and have ever had a moment where you thought you didn't want to work another year, please leave a comment below. I believe many people here will understand that feeling. And if you think that reason is strong enough, the next one is even more interesting, because a large percentage of Americans receive Social Security at age 62 not because of health, not because of longevity, it's because they're trying to protect something that might be worth more than a monthly pension. That's their entire investment portfolio and savings they've spent a lifetime building. The fourth reason might surprise many, because it has nothing to do with health, nothing to do with longevity, and nothing to do with enjoying life. It has something very simple: protecting what they've spent their whole lives accumulating. Many Americans enter retirement with an IRA, 401k, or investment portfolio they've built up over 30 to 40 years of work. It's not just money, it's decades of overtime, canceled vacations, and savings accumulated little by little. And then what happens if the market suddenly crashes right when they retire? This is where the story gets interesting. Imagine you just quit your job at age 62. Your portfolio drops 20% or 25%. But the electricity bill still comes. Food bills still have to be paid. Property taxes don't disappear. Without other income, you're forced to sell part of your investments when prices are low. It's like selling your house during a neighborhood downturn just because you need cash immediately. And many people don't want to be in that situation. This is the wow factor that many people never consider. Sometimes receiving Social Security at age 62 isn't about getting more money. It's about avoiding having to sell other assets. That monthly benefit is like a life raft in a storm. It doesn't calm the sea, but it keeps you from jumping off the boat. A financial advisor once described this very simply: every dollar from Social Security is a dollar you don't need to withdraw from your investment account. It sounds normal, but in years of market volatility, that can be the difference between assets recovering or being permanently damaged. And here's the remarkable reversal. Many people receiving Social Security benefits at age 62 aren't doing so because they lack money. Some even have multi-million-dollar investment portfolios, but they still choose to receive them early because what they're buying isn't money. It's peace of mind. The peace of mind of knowing that a steady income is going into their account every month, regardless of whether the market is green or red today. If you're retired or about to retire, share in the comments. What worries you more, a plummeting stock market or rising inflation? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, because the next reason might be the most controversial in the whole list. It's not about health. It's not about investing. It's about something many Americans are quietly worried about but rarely voice. Will the Social Security system in the future be the same as it is today? The fifth reason might be the most surprising in this entire video, because for years, many people have been advised that both spouses should delay receiving Social Security benefits for as long as possible. It sounds logical. The later you receive, the bigger the payment. But the reality for millions of American families is much more complex. And this is something many people don't know. Sometimes the best strategy isn't for both of you to wait. It's for one person to receive early at age 62, while the other waits until age 70. It sounds strange. But think of it this way. In many families, one person has earned significantly more than the other throughout their careers. If the lower income earner starts receiving benefits at age 62, the family will have an immediate and stable source of income. That money can help reduce the need to withdraw from retirement accounts, easing financial pressure and giving the higher income earner more time to wait. This is the wow factor many people miss. The goal is no longer to maximize each individual's check. The goal is to maximize the security of the entire family. These are two completely different problems. Some retirement planning experts have found that for many couples, this coordinated strategy yields better results than both receiving benefits early or both delaying them. And the biggest reason lies in what happens later. No one likes to think about it. But it's true. In most long-lasting marriages, one person will outlive the other. And when that happens, the larger benefit usually becomes a crucial source of income for the one left over. In other words, when high-income earners delay claiming Social Security until age 70, they're not just increasing their own benefits. They're building a safety net for their spouse. That's when the story stops being about finances. It becomes a story about responsibility, about love, about preparing for a day no one wants to think about. There's a thought-provoking comment from a retired woman. She said she chose to wait until age 70 not for herself, but because if she died first, her husband would still have the highest possible income for the rest of his life. That's the kind of decision that spreadsheets can't measure. Because behind the numbers is a person, and behind every Social Security decision is often a family. If you're married, try sharing in the comments. Have you and your spouse ever discussed when to claim Social Security? Sometimes the most important conversation isn't with a financial advisor, but it's with the person sitting with you at the dinner table every night. And speaking of the things that worry people when planning for retirement, the next reason is increasingly appearing in recent discussions. It relates to a question millions of Americans are quietly asking themselves: what if the future of the Social Security system isn't exactly the same as it is today? One of the most interesting things about reading the hundreds of comments under videos about Social Security is, many people don't take benefits at age 62 because they're more greedy. They take them at age 62 because they feel more insecure. For decades, Americans have been advised to wait until full retirement age, wait until age 70, maximize your monthly benefits. And on paper, that advice usually makes perfect sense. But in real life, more and more people are choosing the opposite path. Not because they don't know how to calculate, not because they don't understand the break-even point, but because they don't completely believe that the future will unfold exactly as the spreadsheets predict. That's a huge difference. Many in the baby boomer and Gen X generations have experienced too much upheaval to believe that the next 10 or 15 years will be exactly the same as today. They've witnessed the financial crisis, soaring inflation, market crashes, escalating healthcare costs, and endless debates about the future of Social Security. And here's the key takeaway. Most of these people aren't saying the system will collapse. They're saying something much simpler. I'm not sure it will be the same as it is now. Those are two completely different mindsets. Many comments share the same idea. I'd rather receive a smaller but secure payment today than wait for a larger one that I can't control in the future. It sounds emotional, but that's actually how people react to uncertainty. When someone turns 62, they don't just look at the numbers on paper. They look at the world around them. They look at food prices. They look at insurance bills. They look at the debates about the national budget, and they ask themselves, if I'm entitled to this money today, why should I gamble it on another 8 years? It's not fear, it's caution. And the older people get, the more they prioritize certainty over optimization. If you're also in that age group, let us know in the comments. Which group are you in? The group that wants to maximize future earnings? Or the group that wants to maximize peace of mind now? There's probably no right answer for everyone. One phrase that keeps appearing in the comments makes many people think, some people prefer a bigger payout later. Some people prefer certainty now. And perhaps that's the true nature of this debate. Not math, not politics, but how each person perceives risk. Because by the time they reach 60, many realize that their most valuable asset isn't maximizing profits. It's the peace of mind of waking up in the morning knowing they made the right decision for their own circumstances. And interestingly, the next reason is even more practical. It has nothing to do with lifespan, politics, or uncertainty about the future. It has something to do with a silent cost that is costing many people thousands of dollars a year without them even realizing it. Before we continue, take a moment to think about this. Throughout today's video, we've talked about money. We've talked about break-even points, portfolios, taxes, spousal benefits, the future of the Social Security system. But perhaps this last reason is the real reason behind so many decisions to receive benefits at age 62. Because ultimately, this isn't about money. This is about time. One man commented on the video that he retired at age 62. In the early years of retirement, he traveled extensively, accomplishing things that had been on his wish list for decades. But by age 69, his knees and back started aching constantly. Long trips became difficult. Activities that used to be simple now required careful consideration. And then he wrote a short sentence. I am grateful for having used my healthiest years while I still could. It's a very simple statement, but it made a lot of people pause. Financial spreadsheets often assume that $1 at age 90 is worth the same as $1 at age 62. But in real life, that's not entirely true. $1 at age 62 might be a trip with your spouse, It might be a fishing trip with your grandson. It might be waking up for the first time in 40 years without looking at an alarm clock. And $1 at age 90? It's still worth something. But the things you can do with it might be very different. That's what more and more Americans are starting to think about when faced with this decision. They're not asking, how can I get the most money? They're asking, how can I make the best use of my healthy years? If you're watching this video and are retired, please share below. If you could go back to age 62, would you change anything? Your answer might help someone else who's at a crucial crossroads in their life. One of the most touching comments came from someone who retired early. He said he used to be very confident that he still had plenty of time ahead. Then his son suddenly passed away at age 29. After that tragedy, he wrote, "No one is promised tomorrow. Not the tomorrow of the young, not the tomorrow of the old." And that's perhaps the hardest truth in life to accept. We spend decades accumulating money thinking that time is unlimited. But then, at some point, many people realize the opposite is true. Money can be earned. Money can be invested. Money can recover after a difficult market year. But time cannot. Once gone, it never comes back. That's why, for millions of Americans, receiving Social Security at age 62 isn't just a financial decision. It's a decision about how they want to live the rest of their lives. And interestingly, after seeing all 7 of these reasons, perhaps the most important question isn't, should you receive Social Security at age 60, 2, or 70? But rather, how do you want to spend your healthiest years? Because sometimes, the most valuable asset in our account isn't the money sitting there. It's the number of days left to enjoy it. And in the final part of the video, there's a question that completely shifts this debate. Are people trying to maximize money, or are they trying to maximize life? And those are 7 reasons why millions of Americans are choosing to receive Social Security at age 62. Interestingly, there isn't one right answer for everyone. For some, waiting until age 70 is the best decision. For others, receiving it early allows them to enjoy life, protect their families, or simply provides greater peace of mind. Now I want to hear your opinion. If you could receive Social Security today, would you choose age 62, the full retirement age, or age 70? And what is the most important factor in that decision? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I always read real-life stories and perspectives from our community. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos about retirement, Social Security, finance, and other important issues that directly affect the lives of older Americans. And please note, the content in this video is for informational and discussion purposes only and is not personal financial, tax, or legal advice. Every situation is different, so please consider consulting a suitable professional before making important decisions. Thank you for your time. Wishing you health, peace, and see you in the next video.